A new poll just by CNN came out saying that 80% of Americans are afraid, are fearful of ISIS possessing a serious threat against the United States. And how can you not be afraid of ISIS when they just claimed responsibility for killing 126 people in Yemen, injuring hundreds in a suicide attack, killing 23 tourists in Tunisia in a public museum? The fear-based propaganda in the American mainstream media is very heavily into making you afraid of ISIS. But what you should be really afraid of is the news that you're not getting. The news, the fact that the Iraqi commanders in the Iraqi military have tapped the communications of ISIL and are confirming U.S. aid to this horrible criminal organization. Jafar al-Jabari told an Iranian news service, Fars, that the U.S. planes have dropped weapons for the ISIL terrorists in the areas under ISIL control, and even in those areas that have been recently liberated from the ISIL control, to encourage the terrorists to return to those places. Now, this has been confirmed on many news sources and many articles that you will not see in the mainstream media. There's other reports, because the U.S. said that they're going to be supporting the Kurds who are fighting ISIS in the north of Iraq here, that they're going to be shipping food and weapons. There's video of the food and weapons actually going into ISIS's hands. So this is confirmed on many different levels. There's even the fact that the Iraqi military that's fighting ISIS, whenever they make advancements against ISIS up here in the north, they find U.S. and Israeli communications, weapons, heavy artillery, heavy just military industrial complex weapons that ISIS is using. That's our weapons, financed by you. We are financing our worst fear unknowingly in the United States. Our own tax dollars are going to this criminal terrorist organization. And if the news couldn't get any worse, the U.S. just lost $500 million worth of weapons in Yemen, including drones, helicopters, and 1.2 million rounds of ammo. The failed state of Yemen that just had its terrorist attack by ISIS that killed 126 people. Another interesting fact, ISIS keeps attacking Tunisia, keeps attacking Yemen, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, but never Israel, which again, they get most of their weapons and arms from, that the Iraqi military keeps finding all throughout. Now it's interesting. Not only are we just continuing to give arms to ISIS, but we created this very situation with our foreign policy. In Iraq, where a lot of the Baathists are now high-ranking ISIS members, in Iraq in 2000, Saddam Hussein ditched the US dollar, and because of that, he was invaded and attacked for weapons of mass destruction. Sure. Then we have Omar Gaddafi of Libya, who was going off the US dollar to sell oil in gold dinar, a currency that would unite Africa and sell against the US dollar in oil trade. Then we have Assad, who in 2006 switched its primary currency against the US dollar for the euro when it came to foreign goods and services. We have Iran also doing similar things, and that's why they are an enemy of the state. That's why Iranian military and Iraqi military are fighting ISIS. But that's why the US won't work with Iran to really fight ISIS. And that's why this news is coming from an Iranian news source, which has been confirmed all throughout. Let's not even forget Turkey. Turkey buys oil from ISIS, our closest ally in the region. Turkey, that keeps its borders open, that the French terrorists were able to easily walk in through Turkey into Syria to join ISIS, with the borders open, with heavy artillery coming from Turkey. Oil is being bought by Turkey from ISIS terrorists. Are there any international sanctions like there are on Iran, like there are on freaking Russia? No. But Turkey is financing this. We are financing this. We are dropping them food. We are dropping them weapons. We overthrew governments that set up a vacuum that allowed them to get into power. We are the U.S. government, the U.S. military. Our taxes are creating our worst fear, and no one has the guts in the mainstream media to report this to you. If you know, supposedly, one of these 80% of Americans who are afraid of ISIS, send them this video so they could really worry about something, but not really worry, but understand it and stop it. Because only when you fully understand the problem, that's the only way you could stop it. Help spread information and knowledge and stop this fake problem, reaction, solution dialect from happening, getting rid of our rights, getting rid of our money, getting rid of our control, and spreading all this murder and horrendous activity in the Middle East. All this suffering could be ended by you as a citizen of this country, standing up, informing yourself, sharing this information, and making sure the propaganda can't work. It's up to you. This is the information. If you found it helpful, click the like button, subscribe. We're going to have a lot more hard-hitting news coming your way on youtube.com/WeAreChange.